The world woke up to a shock. The United States has slapped a crippling 24% tariff on all Japanese car imports. This isn't just another trade spat, it's a direct challenge to the post-war order. For decades, the US-Japan alliance anchored stability in Asia and fueled economic growth for both nations. Now that partnership is under threat. The fallout was immediate. Tokyo's Nikkei index plunged and Japanese automakers scrambled to respond. These companies employ thousands in both countries and their business models depend on open trade. The tariff is a blow not just to profits, but to the trust that underpin the alliance. Washington claims it's about the trade deficit, but the real message is clear. America is willing to risk a rupture with its closest Asian ally to rewrite the rules. The world is watching. Will this gamble pay off or backfire spectacularly? The stakes go far beyond the price of a car. This is a turning point for global alliances and economic order. The old rules no longer apply. To grasp the impact, look at the history. The US-Japan alliance was a model of post-war cooperation, turning former enemies into partners. American security allowed Japan to focus on rebuilding, and Japanese innovation transformed the global auto industry. Japanese automakers invested in US factories, creating jobs and deepening ties. The new tariff attacks this symbol of mutual success, poisoning decades of goodwill. Japan's auto sector, a pillar of its economy, now faces factory shutdowns and job losses. The Nikkei's plunge is just the start. Japan's export-driven economy is suddenly exposed. With an aging population and massive debt, Japan is ill-prepared for this shock. The tariff is a cannonball to the hull of Japan's economy, threatening to sink it. The alliance that once brought prosperity now teeters on the edge of conflict. The world's third-largest economy faces a crisis it may not withstand. The US isn't stopping at tariffs. It's pressuring Japan to strengthen the yen, making exports even pricier. For Japan, this is a nightmare. A shrinking workforce, ballooning debt, and now, a crippled export sector. The Bank of Japan has few tools left. Interest rates are near zero, and more debt isn't an option. The result? Japanese consumers and businesses are paralyzed by uncertainty. Investment halts, spending drops, and a vicious cycle of stagnation deepens. The tariff isn't just economic policy, it's a blow to Japan's national psyche. For decades, Japan and others powered their growth by selling to America and buying US debt. Now the US is rewriting the rules, refusing to be the world's consumer of last resort. For Japan, adapting to this new reality will be painful, perhaps impossible. The global balance is shifting, and Japan is caught in the crossfire. The world's economic engine is sputtering. The consequences will be felt far beyond Tokyo. Japan isn't standing still, it's forging new alliances. Tokyo is leading the CPTP, a major Pacific trade pact that excludes the US and deepening ties with Europe and Asia. Japan is also quietly reducing its purchases of US Treasury bonds, a subtle but powerful form of leverage. If Japan and others stop financing US debt, American borrowing costs will rise, threatening its own economy. This is a fundamental shift. Japan is diversifying its partnerships, no longer relying solely on Washington. The risks are real. Competing economic blocs could emerge, and global stability is at stake. Other nations are watching Japan's response closely. If Japan's strategy works, others may follow, accelerating a move away from US-centric systems. The tariff meant to show American strength may instead hasten its decline. The global order is being rewritten in real time. The world is at a crossroads. This isn't just a US-Japan issue, it's a global crisis. American consumers will pay more for cars, and inflation will hit hardest in the middle class. A Japanese recession would ripple worldwide, slowing trade and shaking financial markets. A regional dispute could spark a global downturn. The real danger is the erosion of trust in the global system. If alliances and agreements can be discarded overnight, protectionism will spread. The world risks moving from win-win cooperation to lose-lose conflict. This tariff is a stress test for globalization itself. How Japan and the world respond will shape the next era. The stakes could not be higher.